Gentlemen, let me see here. Make sure my phone charging. My phone hooked up to my laptop. Wanted to pop on here Sunday night. I try on some Sunday nights when I'm able to go live for the Blessed Tribe. For those of you who, support the channel. And then the Blessed Business Tribe. Try to get us a video up every week. But, don't always get to. Let me see if my system working here. Cause my Wi-Fi, let me turn off the Wi-Fi on over here. Try to get my Wi-Fi working. And let me know if y'all could hear me. Let me see. Over here. Let me see here. Made it on time, huh? Okay. Let me see something real quick. I put a link. All right, I think I got that set up. So yeah, I want to pop on here real quick. Gave up my ticket to the NBA game tonight. So my wife took our sons and my oldest son friend. So mom out with the boys, and she loved basketball. So they at the game. So I got a little free time, and I was watching our NFL team today, and then had to get me a haircut tonight, and so got me a little free time today. Something in my eye. So I wanted to pop on here. On Instagram last couple of days, I've been doing some talks on Instagram, and I posted some of the videos I shot to my YouTube, but y'all got to forgive me for sounding like a broken record, because I'm front line when it's on. So I got to stay, keep my foot on their neck, and everything foolish I see from a man that got a podcast, I'm calling it out. And so y'all keep DMing it to me on Instagram or what have you. And when I get in there and check it and see it, I'm calling it out, because I realize in times like these, those of us with common sense, with a righteous indignation, meaning wanting to live right, wanting to do the right thing, we can't be quiet in times like these, because there's so many people that are misleading the masses, and misleading the masses from their own pain, their own insecurity. And all we could do is hold them accountable and pray for them. And I'm seeing it more and more, and just men keep trying to spin this narrative. And then it's some women that's complicit, that's in it, that's trying to. It's the thing about it is so many women have been, beat up on, to the point that you start to believe it. So when you get hurt, when you get talked to, you start to believe that you're less than. It's like that study that they show us in school, where they went to all the kids. They went to all the black kids, and they showed them these baby dolls, and they showed them, and it was like all the different colors. And they say, which one is the pretty doll? And they picked the white baby doll. Which one is the mean doll? They picked the black baby doll. Which one is the bad doll? They picked the black baby doll. Which one is the good doll? They picked the white baby doll. And these are kids that's not even 10 years old. But because they have been made to feel that way, they start to believe it. And what's so sad today is that a lot of women are believing what these toxic men are saying. A lot of women, and they're not really even looking and processing. And it's like, me, I want to give women more credit than that. I want to think that women are smarter than that. But I realize the adversary doesn't care if you're a male or a female. The adversary don't care what your race is, where you come from. The adversary don't care about that. What the adversary says is, listen, if I can get you, I'm gonna get you. And so it's sad to me to see so many women that they are believing what these toxic men are saying, and they're making sense of it. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. Like the guy said that if you don't want to get slept with, don't go on a date after 5 p.m. And then another lady told me that the guy said if a man take you on 3 dates, you in coochie debt. And somebody else sent me this guy. He did a video, not a video, a post talking about unpandering, because the man explained it, and what he was talking about is men being used for dinner. And I done talked about that too. I done talked about, hey, this is what these guys thinking, that they being used for dinner. And I say, so offer to pay your half. And that sent women up in arms. And I say, but a real man is going to pay for it. But when you offer to pay your half, you disarm him. And a lot of women was upset about that, because they like, I done had to spend $200 or $300 just to go on the date. I'm not going to offer to pay my half. But the reason why I said that is because these guys are telling men that if they take you on a date, that they get to sleep with you. So now that's why we see these stories on the news, because these guys have been amped up. They done been pumped up to think, if you take this woman on a date, you get to sleep with her. If you take this woman on a date, you got to expect to sleep with her. And so so when a man says that, and these men, see, the thing about it, what you have to realize, especially in the black race, most men have not seen a father figure. So when they see a guy, these guys sit down with a suit on, with a 2-piece, 3-piece suit on, dressed nice, articulate, using statistics. Most black men automatically associate articulate speech, using statistics, and dressing well with, oh, this a real man. This just a gentleman. Oh, this is somebody. And it's because, and then they'll look at me, I got on a black t-shirt. A lot of times I have on my baseball cap. I just got me a haircut though, and got my hairline sprayed on. So I'm like, I ain't finna put no hat to mess it up, because I got a speaking engagement tomorrow. And so these guys, they'll look at, and then men, we forget Jesus' life on earth was over at 33 years old. A lot of men today are thinking that the older you are, that if you in your 40s, if you in your 50s, then everything you say is gold. That you know what you talking about. And somebody in their 30s, oh, we don't know what we talking about. And so the thing about it is I have a lot more. It's men that watch me, and it's nearly over 600,000 men in my social media following. But men learn in the dark. Men grow in the dark. So what that means is, when you go in my comments on my videos, you see 2 or 3 men. And that's because they watching and they picking up jewels. They agree, they disagree, but they in their own process. Whereas women, as you know from your life and every woman around you, women are typically more front-facing, front line, voicing their opinion, in support. Women buy books, women go to seminars, women go get college degrees more, women go get extra extended learning. And so that's why when you look at television, everything is marketed to women because the nature of a woman is to seek knowledge. And so the same way we see all these grants, I see so many grants and so many companies that they're giving millions of dollars to women. And some of them, their intentions are pure, and some of them, their intentions are not pure. But they're giving these grants to women because women are showing up in the places of growth. And so on here, where I'm holding men accountable, it's I have a message for a man, and it's all women in the comments. And so what happened is men say, "Oh, he pandering to women," but the message is holding a man accountable. But men, we don't like to be chastised. And that's how men see it. Oh, you telling me what to do. Oh, you punking me. Oh, you trying to say you more of a man than me. Or you trying to make me look bad to my wife, make me look bad to my girlfriend. Oh, you think you better than me. Oh, you one of them guys. Oh, you this, you that. Oh, you think you this and that. And so men take offense to correction. And so what happens is we all start giving correction to women because women rarely take offense to correction. The thing about it is these men with these podcasts, it's not correction, it's destruction. And they telling women basically how to be weak and how to be prey and how to get used, how to be do girls. And I'm coming and see the reason why I'm coming differently is because I was that guy. So a lot of these men that now have these platforms, they were never that guy. Like they never was the toxic man in a real way. So they don't understand when they amp up these men, what they doing and how many lives being lost. They don't understand that. They don't understand what's happening because they were never that guy. But being that I was that guy, I know how dangerous it can get for a woman. I know how scary it can get for a woman. So that's why when I hear these messages from these men, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Y'all getting people life tooken. Y'all getting people wiped out. Y'all creating, these men are creating a twilight zone for women around the world. Because you got to think. When you see these men who wouldn't bust a grape sitting behind a desk with stuff spinning and they wouldn't bust a grape, but they taking this horrible message and they putting that message inside of a man who he's fought his whole life. This man seen what his dad did to his mom. Like this man grew up raised by wolves. So when you take these messages that these men on the internet are spewing for the praise and adulation of other men, these messages are fueling grown boys in the real world. It's no different than a rapper who does not live what he rapping about. So he in the booth and he making a song and he's getting millions of dollars, but in the song he's saying we slide on our ops. But he's so far removed from the streets because he's making so much money, he don't even step foot in the hood. But because he say this is what he does to a person that he has a problem with, now the guys who actually in the trenches take his blueprint and they go exact justice against the guys they have a problem with. So now lives are being lost based on the signal of a man who in a booth. So this is the same thing that's happening with these men online that they're not thinking about. That they giving this message and they giving it from their perspective. Like nobody's scared of the man in the dark. I think that's why women listen to these guys because they looking at them and they like, you look kind of, okay, sister. You know, a lot of women be in the comments giving it to these men. I mean, just you this, you that. Like, women not afraid of the men with the voices, of the men on the podcast, but it's the men in real life that's taking this and saying, oh, so you gonna have me bring you out to eat and then we ain't going back to your place or my place? What? What? I done took you out to eat. Come here. I done took you out to eat. And what? And so now, it's just like, so this the thing. One of the men in the dark, I think from New York. So when I first went at him a long time ago, I got a DM from a man from New York. Hey, you old this and that. You old bleepity bleep bleep. I bet you won't bring that bleepity bleep up here to Bed-Stuy. Old green-eyed bleepity bleep. Now me, I'm not really built like that in a sense of a man putting fear in my heart. And so I sent him a message back. I ain't gonna tell you what I said. I sent him a message back. But so I got this. The guy could have been the guy brother. If he probably on the guy payroll. Cause you can't care that much as a man for another man. And so we seen the clip. I think it was in New York, in Brooklyn, or well, whichever one of them, Queens, all y'all boroughs up there. I don't know everything about them. Where the woman go in the liquor store to get her something. The boy holler at her. She said, no, I'm good. Go on about her business. She walk on outside. The man go out there, and the man want to fight her. The man fight her, and I think they say he bit her eye or tried to bite her in the face. See, that's the thing. These men with these podcasts, they igniting these other men that's in the real world, and they telling these men, hey, you could do this, hey, you could do that. Hey, you deserve this, you deserve that, you supposed to get this, you supposed to get that. So now, these guys who at the corner store late at night in these major cities, the woman come in there, they think that because they talk to this woman, they supposed to get whatever they want. This woman supposed to be like, oh yeah, great meeting you. So here's my number. And if the woman don't do that, now the guy he wanna jump bad on a woman. And it's because these men are online jumping bad with women on the live. Jumping bad. So now it got men who could actually fight, men who actually in the streets. So imagine this. Imagine this man who is strong. This man who he's strong. He been a fighter, or he might have not been a fighter, but he's stronger than his woman. And he go and he listen to these guys with these podcasts and these YouTube channels and all of this right here spewing all this nonsense. And he take his 8th grade education trying to understand what this man on the podcast is telling him that he got the right to do to a woman. And now he go and put his foot on her neck. And what she gonna do? How she gonna defend herself? How she gonna get away from this guy that's crazy? How she gonna get away from this guy that he ain't got it all? He a fry short of a Happy Meal. But he been listening to these podcasts of these guys that's cursing women out in front of the world. Cursing women out in front of the world. Calling them names, talking down to them. So now these men take and go into their relationship, and now they want to exact justice in their relationship. Now they want to get some straightening in their relationship. And think about it. Whichever side you think of it from. So I was telling my wife today, I say, listen, so you got these guys out here, and they got these, toxic podcasts. I say, when I have a sit down with these guys and we do us a talk on a podcast, I say, so when they say, oh, a man pay the bills, so a woman supposed to cook every day. A woman supposed to sleep with a man when he want to, because he pay the bills. I say, so what does a woman say to that? I say, I'm trying to see both sides of this. And my wife, she hit me with something. She said, what you got to realize is, she said, as a woman, if a woman just got to stay home all day, and do nothing, then yeah, she could clean the house. And she can be ready to sleep with her man if she just stay home all day and do nothing. She said, but in this day and age, a woman is driving. My wife drive 160 minutes a day, minimum, with our sons. So that's 2 hours and 40 minutes of her life, Monday through Friday, that she spent on the road, taking our sons to school and coming home. So if you ever drive 3 hours, 4 hours, it make you so tired, it drains you. Like right now, she got to drive 2 hours to the NBA game with our boys. She coming back 2 hours. When she get home tonight, the game ends. She gonna get home probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. She gonna be tired. And then she gonna help me pack, because I got to catch a flight for a speaking engagement in the morning. And so what she showed me, she was like, she would say, so here's the thing. She say, in the old days, a woman could clean the whole house because the house was so little. It was a 2-bedroom. Back in the old days that these guys keep referencing about your great grandma and your grandma, the house was so little, you clean the house like that. And then even those houses, sometimes you deep clean them, it might take you a whole day. But today, what we keep hollering about is high value man. So guess what? If a high value man is based on his money, we live in a 6-bedroom house. We live in a 6-bedroom house with a gym, with a pool, with a media room, with a playroom. So our house alone, one person can't clean that. So if I'm working and I'm making money, I hire a house cleaner to help my wife. Because when the house cleaner come clean, the house got enough space in it. It take a house cleaner all day. And she do this, and it's a team of 3. It's a team of 3, and it might take them 5 hours of 3 women who clean every day. So they got cleaning down to a science. So now, men talking about, oh, women supposed to do this. And my wife, she helped me think of something. She said, but look, men complaining about women having help, whether that's a nanny, if that's grandma, if that's her mama, if mama coming over, helping fold clothes, helping clean up, helping cook, helping watch the kids. Like, men complaining about a woman having, at certain income level, you could have a nanny, you could have a chef, you could have a house cleaner, you could have a driver. But that's what they talking about, a high value man. And so what my wife asked me, she say, so look at this. She say, is men building houses? Say, is a man who provide, or did they build a house from the ground up? Did they change the oil in their car? Did they change the tires on their car? Did they fixing their car? Because if you a high value man, that means you make money. So if you make money, that means you buying a house that was built by another man. You taking your car to get service. because it's a luxury car most likely, and you can't service it yourself. So another man taking care of your car, taking care of your house, cutting your hair, taking care of your beard, tailoring your suit, another man doing everything for this high value man. But then men expecting women to be slaves. So what I took and did as a man is I say, let me understand. Instead of just looking to, I think it's Stephen R. Covey, Dr. Stephen R. Covey, who says, seek to understand, then be understood. That's who I heard it from. Of course, he could have learned it from somebody else. So I take and I say, you know what? And you right, Tiff, a lot of men are not handy. And so guess what? That's me. So when I thought about this thing, I'm like, okay, yeah, I make money. So I tried to think like the grown boys. Hey, I'm making money. So why you ain't cooking every day? Why you ain't cleaning the house every day? I'm trying to think like these grown boys. And then my wife, why you ain't paint your office? We hired somebody and paid somebody thousands of dollars to paint the house. Why you ain't paint the house? Why you ain't paint your office? Why you don't change your oil? Why, you know what I'm saying? Why you couldn't do the build out of her closet? I don't do none of that. I got a guy who service my pool, guys who serves my car, guys who do all my handiwork. When you see me sitting on my lives and I got them frames, them pictures behind me, those real pictures from our 6 weeks in Europe, them picture frames that's on the wall, and some of my videos I do on my reels on Instagram, it's a man come hang them pictures up. We got some of those in our room too. It's a man come hang those up. I don't touch nothing. Why? Because I'm a high earner. So I'm focused on my business and what I got to do, and I let the man that's his business. I let him do that instead of me trying to do everything. And so what my wife said to me, she said, what you got to realize is in the old days, women didn't have to take their kids to ballet, to gymnastics, to soccer, to football. Women didn't have to drive. Women didn't drive in the old days. So women didn't drive their kids to school. Women, sometimes the kids didn't go to school. They was homeschooled, or they didn't have school. Or my grandma walked 5 miles to school. Her mama didn't drive her to school. So her mama ain't lose no time. My grandma walked to school. You see what I'm saying? The house this big. So great grandma cleaned the house like that. So when you think about it, it's like, all right, we in a different day and age. So yet men, we got to stop looking and saying, hey, I want you to be like my grandma, when your wife today, life is not like your grandma. I want you to do everything my grandma did. Your grandma's house was this big, so your grandma could clean her house. Your grandma got hands put on her. Your grandma had got cheated on. Granddaddy had a whole nother family. But grandma couldn't go out and work because the work wasn't fair. Grandma couldn't get paid well. Grandma couldn't drive. So if the man in they one car and he driving to work, grandma can't go nowhere because she can't get there. So maybe she could be a maid, but she got to walk. And if she a maid for a white family, and they don't live in the same neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? So this the thing. That's the thing. What we keep hearing is when you listen to these men, and I can't listen to much of it without throwing up on myself and having to change clothes. When you listen to these men, all they comparing to is all they talking about is grandma. What your grandma did, what they did in the old days, what women used to do. It's like we live in a new day. Grandma didn't have a college degree. Unless you got your 50-year-old grandma. Grandma didn't have a college degree. Grandma didn't have a car. Grandma kids did not play sports. And if they did play sports, the coach came and picked them up. when they start to integrate. Earl Davis, or whoever the movie by, the Express. The coach came, had to pick them, or they had, or the boys walked to practice. Women in the grandma days, black women wasn't doing no extracurricular activities. The black girls wasn't in gymnastics. They wasn't in dance. They weren't in softball and volleyball and basketball and lacrosse and all of that. So grandma didn't have to go nowhere. She woke up and she was home all day long. She ain't had nothing to do but cook and clean. Because she didn't have no car and her kids didn't have no extracurricular. But we live in a new day today. But yet, these men out here with these podcasts trying to keep us antiquated and don't want a woman to grow, don't want a woman to evolve. And it's like, we got to do better than that. Don Clardy, God bless you. God bless you now. We got to do better than that. And so this the thing. My thing is I got to balance. It ain't, for me, it's not about pandering to women. It's like I'm a man. Like, I was talking to my wife today. I'm having a conversation with him. Like, okay, so baby, let's have this conversation. Now let's talk about this. Okay, so if I'm earning money, all right, why you can't clean the house? I said I play devil's advocate. See, I'm an angel, meaning angel's advocate. When I say angel, not you know what I'm talking about. I don't do nothing with the devil. But I say, okay, baby, this is what I'm finna do. I'm gonna pretend I'm one of these guys on these communities on YouTube and these guys with these podcasts. I say, I'm gonna pretend I'm one of these guys. And I'm gonna ask you these questions. And she hit me back with it. And I say, so this ain't me now, but I'm just asking because this what these men saying. And so I'm like, okay, I make the money. Why you can't sleep with me every night when I want to? She say, well, because I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning with our son, helped tutoring him in his homework. So I slept 4 hours. Then I woke up at 5 and then I had to leave the house by 7 and then drive our kids 40 minutes to school, 40 minutes back. Then got several other appointments and things I got to do throughout that day. And then got to drive 40 minutes to pick them up, 40 minutes back. So now I drove 160 minutes, only slept 4 hours. I said, okay. I when I sleep 4 hours, my throat hurting, my eyes red, my nose watering, my body break down if I sleep 4 hours. My wife do that almost every day. Almost every day. So what I took and did is I seek to understand. So when you seek to understand, before trying to be understood, then you start to realize, okay, we have to, in a relationship, we got to level the playing field. We got to be fair. And so when I'm talking about this, my wife helped me realize it's totally different times. We got a lot going on. We got 2 practices a night. Sometimes them 2 practices on 2 sides of town, 45 minutes apart. And then I got to go out of town. So my wife like, so when you out of town, she say, then I'm up late trying to iron clothes, trying to prepare lunches, trying to get stuff ready, get to bed late, midnight, 1 o'clock, got to be up 5 o'clock, then got to do the school run, do the pickup, then got to take this one to practice over here, got to take this one to practice over here, got to pick this one up, got to pick this one up, then got to come home, get them showered, get them fed, then got to do homework, more homework. Then got to get them in bed, then got to try to have some me time, try to woosah, try to cool down, but it's already 10:30 because of practice go to 9. Practice go to 9 p.m. Get home 9:30, 9:40. Got to eat, got to shower, then do more homework. And so that's my wife's day. And the reason why is because I'm what they would call a high value man. What they mean is high earning. Me, high value is high character. So when you high earning, guess what? My son could play every sport in school. It costs $300 to be on the school team. And so then he do school soccer team, but he also does club soccer team. So every day he have 2 different soccer practices. And then the baby boy, he does intramurals in school or stretching class in school. It's really yoga, but Christians always getting up in their arms, so I just call it stretching class because it's a Christian school. Stretching class, they do robotics club, key club, technology club. Because when you earn more, you're able to put your kids in more. So now when you got them in more, and then as a man, if I got to go out of town for a business meeting or for a speaking engagement or some other sort, now my wife doing all that by herself. Not to mention the single moms. So my wife doing all that by herself. So how I'm gonna expect her to have a hot meal, to have some legs open, to have the house spick and span when you earning enough money to have a 5-6 bedroom house? How somebody gonna keep that clean when we know all as people we struggle keeping our own room clean? We struggle keeping our bedroom clean because you tired, the day over, you take your clothes off, you might leave your clothes in the floor. You might do the same thing the next day. Same, before you know it, you got shoes in different places in your place. You got clothes in different places. Don't let you have a treadmill. The arm of the treadmill or a bike, exercise bike is full of clothes. You got 9 outfits on anything with an arm on it. It's 9 outfits on it. And this people living by themselves. So imagine when you got my day outfit, my nighttime sleeping outfit, my sons got school outfits, then practice outfits. Then my wife got her day outfit, her night outfit. That's 8 outfits in a day. 8 times 5 is 40. Plus another 16. That's 56 outfits in a day. An outfit is top, bottom, underwear, and socks. And sometimes more if you got an Under Armour, if it's cold. So this outfit is multiple pieces. So 56 outfits. 50 times 4 is 200. 6 times 4 is 24. So 224 items of clothing at minimum in my house is going into the laundry every week. And see, this is what I tried to think. I say, okay, I got to see it from her point of view. When I see it from the woman's point of view, so guess what? Guess what I hired now? A lady who do the laundry. She come every Wednesday and she wash all the clothes for my wife. She wash all the clothes, she fold all the clothes. Because if we didn't have kids, my wife wouldn't need that. But because we doing a crazy amount of clothes, because our kids got multiple after school sports and events, it's way more clothes than the average household. And so when I think about that, so now I'm paying this lady, I think $150 a week. That's $600 a month. But what they call a high value man, if a man making money, you're going to have more convenience. You're going to have more stuff going on. So my sons do every extracurricular. And I remember trying to brag about all the extracurricular that my sons do and how we putting them in all this stuff. And a single mom, she humbled me. She said, Tony, that's all fine and dandy, but you know all that costs money, right? I couldn't even say nothing because she was right. All that costs money. So guess what? If a man call himself high value and he make money, he raising his kids, he gonna have his kids in everything. All the kind of stuff. So guess what? That's more stuff for the woman to have to manage. And she got her own life. And then on top of that, on top of all this ripping and running that a woman got to do, she dealing with the mundane. Whereas with men, if we are earners, we going and we get to have fun. We going and get to have fun making money. We got a challenge making money. When we go into the workplace, we got camaraderie. We got a brotherhood. So a lot of guys on their job, they looking at nasty movies with their buddies. They talking dirty. They talking nasty. They talking about sports. They talking about women. They having a blast while they doing that construction. While they doing this, doing that. So they getting a release. Whereas here's this woman, she got to be picking up after the kid, running after the kid, doing all this. And then not to mention if she worked. So now she's so tired from the kids. On top of that, she working. Is she working? But even and working could be a break for a woman. Like being full time with kids, that's the hardest thing you could do because it's not that interesting. It's your kids. You see them every day, and the stuff they interested in, you're not interested in. But you got to become interested in it, and you got to love it, and you got to enjoy it. And so, women who with their kids, sometimes that could be so tedious and so mundane that they feel like pulling their hair out. They need some me time. They need some downtime. They need some time to relax, some time to woo-saw. And so what I'm asking men is, step outside of yourself as a man and look at the life of a woman. Look at what she doing. Look at what she putting up with. Look at what she going through. So we taking and we asking a woman to be superwoman, do all this ripping and running, do all of this, and then keep her body sexy. Do you know how hard it is to keep weight off? Like these men, like us men, we can't keep no weight off. Nearly every man that's talking, we got us a stomach. So, and our body is more muscle than a woman, just naturally. So we telling a woman, cook, clean, run behind the kids, ballet, dance, soccer, football, baseball, volleyball, softball, robotics club, chess club, whatever going on. Kids have, on average, at least one very demanding thing going on, or some have 2 or 3 things going on. And so we say do all of that and then come home with a sexy body and be ready to get your bike blowed out. After this woman has been up since 5 o'clock in the morning, doing mundane, tedious, boring activities. And the only joy is getting to watch the children perform at whatever they do. And so I started to think about this. I started to think about this as a man. And so I'm exposing myself. I started thinking about this and I started to say, okay, why is my wife so giddy at our son's games? Like she's so talkative to everybody around her, just nonstop talking, just laughing, just on another level giddy, so excited, so into it. And I say, this her only joy. This her only joy. I mean, other than like when we do a date night, but even date nights don't always turn out well because that's your first time alone and you end up having a deep conversation, which could kill the vibe. And so I'm like, if a woman just cooking, cleaning up after dirty men and kids and people who, kids is selfish. Kids just take, and they don't even process how much is being given to them by their mama until somebody make them realize it on Mother's Day. And then they bring home that little handwritten card. And they're like, okay, yeah, this nice, but this ain't no massage. It's cute. Okay. It ain't no massage. And imagine a single woman or a woman with a deadbeat baby daddy. Imagine a woman with one of these controlling men. Can you imagine being a woman in a relationship with the gentleman who sit in the dark? Oh my goodness. Can you imagine what a relationship like that is? That If that woman exists, that got to be the most miserable woman in the world. Think about this now. Think about this. And the rest of these guys with these YouTube, you know, I seen another guy with an Instagram page talking about I'm pandering. Got my name all in his mouth. I told him I don't speak names. I talk about stuff I see, stuff people send me. I don't speak names though. So I tell him, hey, keep my name out your mouth, playboy. Keep my name out your mouth now. You can talk situational. Don't go to adding me now, because I ain't Twitter thumbs. Don't go to adding me now. If you want to talk to me, hey, let's talk now. Let's talk. Man to man. We could talk on Instagram Live. You want to do that? YouTube Live, wherever you want to talk at. But keep my name out your mouth now. And just talk about situation. And so this is the thing, though. It's jealousy. Because you know what the thing is? I have women who support me. It's women who support me. And that make a lot of men jealous. But what they don't realize is I have support from women from being a real man. And they getting mad, not realizing that they can have the same support from women if that's what they want. I don't want the support of women. I'm married. But see, they want the support of women because they single. So they could do something with the women. I can't do nothing with the women who support me because I'm married and I got a platform. I get exposed so fast if I was stupid enough to cheat on my wife. But I had no desire to cheat on my wife. But see, they want adulation and praise from women. But because they don't want to become real men, they can't get praise from real women. So the women who give them praise, they don't want those women. They do not want those women because them women have lost love for themselves. Them women may not be attractive to these men. So they don't even want that support. So they say, well, let me get the support of men. Because they know if they sing the praises of men and they take men and make men feel entitled. And this the problem right here. I'm gonna give you the problem. I'm gonna give you the problem. The problem is that men today are afraid of other men. Men today care more about what another man is gonna think about him than what God thinks about him, than what his wife or his girlfriend or his to-be woman cares about him. The problem today is that men want to please other men. That's the problem. Men want to please other men. So men want to say ignoramus stuff so that other men can say, yeah, preach. And a guy asked today, the guy was in my comments today on Instagram. You go look at my last post. I responded to him now. I don't argue with a fool though. So my second response, I say, bro, you part of the problem. I'm praying for you. God bless you. I don't argue with fools. But you could look at the man profile picture because the eyes is the window to the soul. You could look at the man profile picture and see his pain. You could see his pain. You could see he hurting. You can see he hurting. So I say, I am not finna argue with this man because he in a state of foolishness right now. And so he's trying to say, oh, well, what the man was talking about is women using a man for dinner, for just free dinner. And it's like, okay, he not talking about that because he telling a woman not to go on a date after 5 o'clock if she don't want to get slept with. That ain't talking to the men. They ain't got nothing to do with the man. They ain't got nothing. If he was talking to men, he would have said, guys, stop taking women out on dates because you getting used. And he would have said, listen, if you want to sleep with a woman, what he could have said is, listen, if you want to sleep with a woman, ask her up front, do she want to sleep with you? And then after you get slapped, then go on about your business. Or ask her up front, do you want to sleep with her? And guess what? It's women out there that are lost enough that a man could say, I want to sleep with you. And she'll say, okay, I'm down with it. It's women out there that are that lost that if a man tell a woman he want to sleep with her, she'll do it. You know why? I used to be out there. I know what happened out there. I used to be out there. And so he could have said that if that's what he wanted to say. That ain't what he wanted to say. Want to tell women what to do. But see, my thing is a lot of people, they call what I do telling women what to do. I'm not putting crazy restrictions on a woman. I try to educate women about the games that men play, that grown boys play. Not say, hey, you a grown woman, don't you go out the house after dark if you don't want to get slept with. That is absurd. Don't you go out the house after dark. You want to go on a date, it got to be before dark, before 5 p.m. That is absurd. So I'm not doing the same thing. One lady, she came and Lord bless her. Lord bless her. Just her profile picture, it was just too close up on her face. You could see this much of her face. It was so close up, and it just looked like a lot of wig just hanging. And I'm like, first, fix that picture first, man. So the lady comes, she talking about, you just the spiritual version of the man in the dark. That's what I'm supposed to be. Do you know the devil is just the evil version of he the Messiah for the evil is what the devil is. And then Jesus the Messiah for those who want to live righteous. So it's I'm the opposite. I'm the polar opposite. It's like, okay. And the lady talking about, oh, and Tony has admitted himself he had to go through, he had to do some stuff, to women to get where he is. It's like, ma'am, I was 21. I was 21. These men in their 50s spewing nonsense in their 50s. I was 21. I'm like, my goodness. Kawana, we don't mention names on here, Kawana. So if you don't know, it ain't for you, and thank God for it. Because you in the right place. If you on here, hearing this right here, from a man going on 15 years of marriage, talking to you about love and relationship, you in the right place, instead of hearing from men that ain't married. Talk about love and relationships. Men telling women what they need to do to win the favor of a man, and they not even a favorable man. They not even a man that somebody want to be with. And so it's like, come on now. Let's be real. It's like, come on now. And so the thing about it is, Lakeisha, don't get blocked. We don't put names in the chat. We ain't doing no promotion. We talking about the symptoms. We addressing the symptoms. We ain't promoting people and all that. Because, listen, everybody don't know everybody. I try to tell people that I got a client who was a doctor in France. I was talking to this client, and we were talking something about black men or something like that. And I was like, so like, what do you mean, like LeBron James? And she was like, who is that? I said, you don't know who LeBron James is? She said, no. And I said, what about Kevin Hart? She said, no, I don't know who that is. This is my client in France. I said, you don't know who LeBron James is? You don't know who Kevin Hart is? She said, no. She said, I know who Michael Jordan is. And she said, I know who Shaquille O'Neal is. That's why I tell y'all, don't say names. If you don't hear me say names, don't be promoting people. Because then you sending people to the darkness. So, and when they come across it, then you'll see. When they come across it, then you'll know. But if the Lord done bless you to where you ain't had to encounter these men with these crazy podcasts, he got you in protective custody. The Lord trying to spare your mind. The Lord trying to spare you. And some of y'all just got in the Diane, welcome to the Blessed Tribe. Well, you got an orange thing, so you done been here. And then now I'm gonna tell y'all now, some of these people cause this Blessed Tribe only. So some of these people I'm talking about, they gonna start having they sister and they brother and they assistant sign up in the Blessed Tribe to get in the chat. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. And they ain't gonna have no picture and be in the chat putting craziness. And this is the thing. We got to get to the place to where we start to wake up. We start to wake up and realize. What's going on. And you start to guard your eyes, guard your ears. Stop giving views and stuff to this nonsense. And I'm going to tell you what's happening. It's sad to me. That men don't know what a real man is. And that's what I tell y'all is that because of the lack of fathers in the home, and because women who are single mothers may not know what positive role models to put in their son's life, I'm gonna have to do a whole series for young boys, for teenage boys, to put the voice of a real man in the homes of single mothers for their son, because some single moms, they try to put the coach in the boy life, but the coach trying to sleep with her. So then she like, well, he ain't no real man. And so I don't want him influencing my son. So then the woman is left raising the son by herself. And a lot of times sons take advantage of their mama. They get over on them. And because she don't want to lose him, she don't want to hurt his feelings, she don't want him to run to his daddy. So she give him what he want. She pandered to the son. And so now what's happening is these men, they don't know what a real man is. So they can't look at these men with these podcasts and tell that these messages are absurd. They can't tell that these messages so one-sided, so antiquated, so outdated, so horrible, they cannot tell it. And so I see guys who are, I see like the man in the dark, I see attorneys, men who attorneys promoting him, men who accountants promoting him, men who real estate agents promoting him, men who investors promoting him. And I'm like, was everybody raised without a positive male in their life? That they think this is a man? That these men who saying, I didn't have a dad. I had failed marriage after failed marriage. But let me tell you what to do for your relationship. I'm like, well, I'm not understanding. It's kind of like, if are you gonna hire a financial advisor who say, yeah, I could manage your wealth, but I'm currently in bankruptcy right now. My house is going through foreclosure, but I could help you. I could manage your wealth though, and just teach you what to do. Like, what you gonna do when you sit down at the table with your financial advisor, and your financial advisor trying to relate to you and say, I get it. You know, I'm in bankruptcy right now. My house is getting foreclosed on. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, you know what? It was great meeting you. Okay. All right. I'm going to see you later. So this the thing. So how are we going and listening to the advice, especially women? How y'all listening to what men telling you who not married, happily married and faithful? That's like going to a broke, busted and disgusted financial advisor to tell you what to do with your money. That is the equivalent. If somebody got failed marriage after failed marriage, and then on top of that, they preaching an antiquated thing for relationships, and I hear these men say, oh, I don't believe in this love stuff. It's like when somebody say they don't believe in this love stuff, How, after saying that, can anybody listen to any relationship advice from that day forward? I have heard these men say, I don't believe in this love stuff. A relationship is a business deal. What can I do for you? What can you do for me? Okay, let's come together. Let's make this happen. If somebody tell me that they don't believe in love, I'm not finna listen to a word they say about dating, relationships, love, nothing. I'm out of there. Oh, okay, got to go. All right, got to go. All right, Diane, is you on? Is you type it in the chat? Are you listening or you just reading the chat? We just said we not saying names, Diane. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you not meant to know. Come on now. Now see, listen. You see, I'm called to this. Meridia, God bless you. Because I'm called to this, I could be patient in love. And y'all never hear me say a curse word. You'll never hear me curse at you or curse in general. You'll never hear that. And so, because of that, what'll happen is that's why you see these men go slap off. Because if you take and you deal as a man, if you take and you deal with talking to women, every woman know and every man know a woman mind is different. A woman got questions. A woman got questions on top of questions. So explain that to me again. So now what you said now, okay, so you said this right here, this right here, this right here. Okay, so now what you said, okay, so this right here and this right here. So if you're not called to this, like a lot of these guys are not called to it, because they're not called to it, that's why they cussing women out. That's when you know, when somebody does not have emotional intelligence to deal with the audience that they have curated, that's when you know they're not called to it. That they supposed to be doing another thing. They supposed to be doing something else. But the reason how I know I'm called to it, for one, my birthday, March 8th, I'm born on International Women's Day. I'm like, my goodness, how the world the Lord gonna play a joke on me like that? And then two, the Lord is giving me patience. Because a lot of the questions I get, and a lady got mad with me because a lady asked me a question, I say, hey, that's like a why is water wet question. A lady got mad with me. I had to block her. A lady gonna write me, I am sick and tired of your sarcasm. But what? Woman, I'm doing these Q&As. Don't tell me how to answer a question. But what? But I ain't cuss out. I ain't go off on it. Just block. You tired of Q&A? Okay, now you ain't got to see it. Block. And just because people who know my message, they know I'm joking. They know my sense of humor. They know that I got to put a sense of humor in a long message. I've already been talking for over an hour. So most people who go live, they not talking an hour. They taking calls. They doing Q&A. They doing back and forth. So they ain't got to have no sense of humor. I'm teaching. I'm doing a master class. I got to have a sense of humor. But hey, come telling me how to do my job. But what? And so listen to me. This is what we have to realize. You got now, some of y'all, hey, who you talking about, Tony? Look, you gonna see, because YouTube gonna serve it up to you. Instagram gonna serve it up to you. And we got a shirt that say blocked. It's on the TonyGaskinStore.com. Shirt say blocked on it. On TonyGaskinStore.com. I think it's Tony Gaskin Store. It's either TonyGaskinStore.com or TonyGaskinShop.com. But I think it's TonyGaskinStore.com. And so listen to me. You got to look out here and you have to see these messages that's going forward. And every woman that's on here, that done been on here, every man that's on here, that see this, that done been on there, it's women that have disagreed. It's thousands of women that have disagreed with my message. It's thousands of men that have disagreed with my message. That's because I call it down the middle. I'm going to tell it like it is. And depending on where you are in your life will determine how you receive the message. If we're in two different places, then my vantage point is different than yours. So you're going to disagree if we looking at life differently. And that's what I understand about this. But see, my problem with what these guys are doing is it's getting people taken out. It's costing lives. It's costing futures. It's costing households. Because when you take and you tell a man who is already, as men, we already insecure. I'm going on 15 years of marriage and I still have to battle insecurity. That's an honest confession. Only a real man will admit to that. I still got to battle insecurity. I still got to battle jealousy. My wife at the game. She at the game tonight, at the NBA game. One of the former NBA players, he probably in his 50s now. He walk up to her and start a conversation and he talking to my sons and my son friend. And my wife called me. She said, yeah, such and such came up here to talk to me. You know, when you hear, he never come talk to me. He never come talk to us. I said, yeah, because he could look at me and tell, I don't do all that small talking, buddy, because I know what you're up to. I know you're nasty. And I know you think my wife look good. So go on, yeah, keep walking. And now when they ain't there, he want to go up and strike a conversation. My wife called me and told me. I say, I told you. I told you what they're going to be into. So I could take and see. Men know men. Men know men. And so that's the thing is when you take and you hearing these messages, if a man is insecure and he hear these messages, what is he going to do in his relationship? Because the theme of the messages to men is, the messages are telling men, you dominate, you rule, you reign. You pay the bills, so you have all to say so. You buy dinner, so you get to have her body. That's what the message is saying. So men, we already short-circuited, meaning we quick-tempered. That's why you see men go off the way we go off. That's why you see men, if a couple words is exchanged and it feels disrespectful, blows go to flying. A lot of women could argue for a long time and never throw anything. Men, that argument is going to quickly turn into something else. And so understanding the mindset of a man, if a man come on YouTube, come on Instagram and get a battery put in his back and he's insecure, what is that going to do? It's going to send him out to his relationships to be domineering, controlling, and tyranny. He just about to think he God's gift to women. And that's what MC, because I was that man, I can hear the message differently. And I understand how damaging these messages are to men, because it's taking and making men think that a woman is property. A woman is to be owned. And what's happening is a lot of women are buying into it. They're buying into it and it's making sense to them. Because the way a woman is created is to, most women want to submit to their husband. And that word submit has become a taboo word because men have taken that word and abused it and made it to mean control, made it to mean domineering, made it to mean you don't have a voice. when essentially what the word means, because if a man is loving his wife the way Christ loved the church, what it means is the man is on the front line. And the woman is saying, hey, you are my shield. You are my shield. So if you earning, or if you providing, you protecting, I'm going to respect you. I'm going to respect your mind. If you say, hey, I think we should start this business, I'm going to respect you. I'm going to respect your mind because of your character, because of your integrity. So because women are naturally positioned in a way that they want a man that is confident, that is a leader. But what's happening is that is dangerous when you have toxic masculinity. When a man is toxic and he has a woman who wants to listen and wants to support and wants to, respect him, she ends up shrinking and he ends up dominating and controlling, and she becomes a human teddy bear. She becomes a human punching bag. And so now this man takes out instead of going to therapy, the woman becomes his outlet in a negative way. And that's why these men with these podcasts is so dangerous. And so to y'all other men out there who educated, y'all lawyers, accountants, investors, business owners, y'all stop sharing your platform with these men who got these toxic messages that is causing division, and that's making women feel this big and making men feel like Jolly Green Giant, but for the wrong reasons and in the wrong way. Like, have a message. We should have messages that empower men and that empower women, that hold men accountable and hold women accountable. And that should be the message. If we want to be a voice, that should be the message. It got to be down the middle, and it got to be fair. It can't be a double standard. And so that's what I realized, the error in my ways. And that's why I'm trying to help these guys see the error in their ways and help them understand, like, listen, you're not going to go broke if you change your message. Like, okay, yeah, you get money from your views on YouTube, money from your views on Instagram, but you're not going to go broke if your message is balanced. If your message is fair, you're not going to go broke. But what I realized, the error in my ways, is I realized that I was just telling women, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And how many of y'all been supporting me for a long time? You heard me say a long time. You heard me say so long. The reason why I don't talk to men is because talking to men is like talking to a brick wall. And they not going to listen. And the Lord changed my heart on that. He said, Tony, men listen more than women listen, really. When you really think about it, it's men who in the army, men who you thought had an ego, is in the army getting spit in their face by the person, whatever that position is, that's yelling at their face. Men who was in the streets thugging, then went to the army and got yelled in their face, told what to do, treated like a robot, and sent over to another country to do something to somebody that ain't never did nothing to them. Men listen better than women. It's what the Lord put on my heart. So the Lord say, why are you just talking to women when you need to be talking to men too? But women been telling me that. Women been telling me that, hey, Tony, talk to the men too now. And I say, you know what? That's what it's time for. Because these other guys, they talking for grown boys. They expressing the mentality of a grown boy. And what I'm challenging y'all men, I first who agree with these men that's in the dark with stuff spinning on their desk, and agree with these men with these pages that just always talking bad about women, belittling women, trying to expose women, trying to paint women in a negative light. These red pill men, these MGTOW men, all these different associations, alpha male strategies, alpha this and all of that, all of this stuff that is creating this chess game with women. All of these different groups and stuff. What I want to challenge the men who listening to this stuff and who agreeing with this stuff is, Did you have a loving father in your home? Did you have a loving father in your home? Did you have an example of a real man in your home who was hard but fair, who was hardworking and honest and fair, who treated your mother like a queen? If you did not have that, that's the first reason why you listening to these messages. If you did not have that, that's the first reason why. And there go my guy Nelson. Nelson, the only man in here. And that's the first reason why you listening to these messages. The next thing I want to ask these men that's listening to these toxic podcasts is, have you been hurt by a woman? The answer is likely yes. That's the second reason you listening to these podcasts and you agreeing with these podcasts, because you fell out with your baby mama or baby mamas. You fell out, you got cheated on by one of your girlfriends or your wife or your fiance. You went through a divorce. She got all this in the settlement. She got all this in the divorce. She left you. A lot of these men who are agreeing with these men is because they've been hurt by a woman, or they did not have a positive role model of a man in their household. That's it. And so what I'm asking men is to check yourself. Check yourself, then check yourself in some therapy or in some coaching. Read some books and become a real man. Because see, in order to be a real man, you got to pick up the slack. A real man is not creating slack. A real man is not looking for an advantage. A real man is not trying to control, not trying to dominate, not trying to be on top and ruling a woman. A real man is looking to pick up the slack. A real man is looking to be what a woman needs. A real man looking to be a woman piece. A real man looking to put his woman at ease. To look around the world and realize that if you weren't a taker of a man, then you know countless men who was takers. And what I mean by takers, I mean men who took what they want from a woman's body without her permission. If you weren't a taker, then you know many takers. If you weren't a physical man with a woman, then you know many men who were. If you weren't a man who lied, cheat, and deceive, then you know many men who were. So what I'm asking men is to take and look at the plight of a woman. Look at what we as men have put women through, and then come in as a man and alleviate the pain. Be her peace. And that is going to make you more of a man than warring with this woman and seeing this woman and treating this woman as an opponent. Stop coming in as a man, because it's like, okay, you a man, you supposed to be tough, right? If you're a man, you call yourself tough, right? You strong, right? You alpha, right? So how you a alpha, how you tough, how you strong, and you looking for an advantage over a woman? How you a alpha and you looking to weaken a woman? How you an alpha male looking to weaken a woman? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Like, make it make sense. It don't make any. So what we got to look at, what we got to realize as men is we supposed to be the ones picking up the slack. We the ones with broad shoulders. You got broad shoulders as a man, right? So you supposed to be able to put the load on your back as a man. You a man, so you call yourself the head. You call yourself the leader. The team that lost the football game today, who gonna pay the price? The quarterback or the head coach? The head coach. So if you the man and you calling yourself the head, then guess what? You got to bear the brunt. You got to bear the brunt of the losses. So as the man, you supposed to be picking up the slack. You supposed to heal a woman's heart before you can have her heart. As a man, you supposed to make life easy for her. Because guess what? So listen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lied. I got a 5-bedroom house. So I got a 5-bedroom house, but I got an outside. I got a gym above my pool. That's also I call it 6-bedroom. Okay. So, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bathrooms. So I got a 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom house with a gym, with a 3-car garage, and so what I take and do as what they call a high value man. I hired a chef to cook healthy meals. It's my mother-in-law, Stephanie, God bless you. I hired a chef. I hired a lady who do the laundry, and I hired a lady who clean the house to lighten the load off my wife because our sons are in 3 sports right now, and they straight A students. And my wife have to drive 160 minutes a day to and from school. In their school day, she's driving 160 minutes a day. Then doing 2 hours worth of homework or more. And so what I took and did is I say, let me lighten her load. And then every Friday, I say, baby, pay yourself from our account $1,000. So, and use that for whatever clothes or whatever shoes that to hit the market that you want. And if it's something that costs more than $1,000 and it's a hot piece and you want it, let me know. And then we'll rearrange the budget and we're going to make it happen. And so Valentine's Day coming up, February 14th, I got all her gifts already here. All her gifts already here. I done spent $10,000 or a little more. And 2 days ago, I made a payment to my Amex card. And I went to the Amex travel site because you get 5 times the point. And I booked the hotel for Valentine's weekend. And I booked the restaurant dinner for Valentine's because when you wait till the week of, everything booked up. So you got to be a month early. So as a man, this is what I'm saying we got to do. We got to come in and instead of looking for all of these advantages and what all a woman gonna be doing and all this, it's like, listen, let her rest. You a man, you an alpha. You supposed to be an alpha. You trying to be an alpha man. Let her rest. Create her, be her peace. Make it easy for her. You already know she done got touched on growing up. You already know she done got cussed out. You already know she done had hands put on her. You already know she done been disrespected. You already know her daddy could have not been all that. He could have not been there. So as a man, if you a real man, lighten her load. If you strong, if you big and you bad and you tough, lighten her load. And then as a man, what you is as a man, you closest to God. Cast your cares onto the Lord and rest on his everlasting arm. The Bible say, husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. And it say, wives, submit unto your husband as unto the Lord. So if your wife is coming to you to rest, then as a man, you got to go to God to rest. But see, when you give that woman rest, what's she going to give you? She going to give you peace. But see, when you take a being that thinks with both sides of her brain, and you only think with one side of your brain as a man, and you take a woman who thinks with both sides of her brain, and you put her in survival mode, what do you think you about to create? You about to create a monster. So Michael Jordan lost $200 million in the divorce. You know why? Because he created a monster. And when I say a monster, I don't mean an evil woman. I mean a woman that she had to grow fangs to take care of herself. Because if you want to cheat and dog and cheat and dog and cheat and dog, you can't expect this woman to have your best interest in that courtroom when y'all going through a divorce, when you didn't have her best interest when she done had 3 of your kids. You can't get mad at Dr. Dre's wife for getting $100 million when she done had kids and been there and suffered at the hands. If some hands have been thrown from man to woman, if it's been women calling her phone, if it's been disrespect on disrespect on disrespect on disrespect, she deserve it all. Because guess what? That 100 M's ain't gonna take away her nightmares. It ain't gonna heal the things she done been through. Ain't no amount of retail therapy in the world. If hands was put on her, if she was humiliated in front of friends and family, money will buy things, but it don't heal pain. Money don't buy happiness. I can tell you that now. Because I done made a little bit of it. It don't buy happiness. So this what I'm trying to tell men. Listen, stop coming in as a man looking for an advantage. This is not a football game. If you want deflate gate in football, letting the air out the ball, Tom Brady and them. The Astros video recording the signs of the opponent. You want an advantage in a game. In their relationship, Christian, God bless you, this ain't a game. As a man, you don't need no advantage in a relationship. You need to come and give her rest. And when you do that, guess what? Your maker is going to rain down on you. A man told me I was bragging. I wasn't bragging. I was just trying to let men know how blessed this life is when you take God's creation and you treat her the way he intended for her to be treated. When you take God's prized creation and you treat her the way he intended for her to be treated. See, look, in Ephesians 5, he say, love her as Christ loved the church. So even if you not no Christian, you know what the story of Jesus Christ is. He laid down his life. He sacrificed it all. He suffered the wrong. He took away the pain. He took away the guilt. He took away the shame. He took it away. He took it on the chin. He allowed the devil not just to give him a black eye, but to put nails through his hands and through his feet. Carried his own cross up a hill. And then prayed that God forgive those because they know not what they have done. That's a man. And if we ask to love on that level, that's why a lot of men don't do religion, because of the requirement, because of the sacrifice, because of the level it's asking us to live at. Oh, that's about control. That's the white man. That's the white man religion. The white man gave you that religion. The same person who gave you the N-word gave you that religion. Listen, if a white man is a racist, do you think he want my black sons with straight A's? Do you think he want my black son getting an education? Do you think he want my black sons at peace and happiness? My peace and happiness come from the Holy Bible. So if the white man is the oppressor and he supposedly is the one who gave me the Holy Bible, no, God got the Holy Bible to me. God don't need a certain race of a man to get his word to you. You could be floating in the ocean and the Bible will drift up to you. So listen, if a white man is the racist and he gave me the Holy Bible, the Bible done gave my life peace. The Bible done gave me more money than the white man. The Bible done put me above the white man. So that's what let me know ain't no white man give me no Bible. Because that's liberation. That's freedom. In the Bible, the slaves were set free. God brought 10 plagues on the slave master. And the slave was set free. So how you telling me? So if the white man saw what God did to Pharaoh and he wanted to oppress me, then why he gonna give me a book that's gonna set me free? Because it's teaching me character. It's teaching me morals. It's teaching me integrity. And then all these men now, they flocking to Louis Farrakhan. They all flock to Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan got the biggest voice amongst black men. But when you listen to Louis Farrakhan talk, what do he quote the whole time he talking? The Holy Bible. But that's where they start. I shall lumber the double the double the da. They know how to say all of that, but they don't want to read that book that the honorable whatever the name that Louis Farrakhan quoting. Cause that book say love your wife as Christ loved the church. Oh, what? You want me to lay down my life? You want me to sacrifice? You want me to present her blemish and spot free? You want her to be dripping? You want her to be blessed? You see what I'm saying? So, oh no, you asking for too much. You asking for too much. Hold on now. Cause see, the book that the leader that everybody running to, that the book he quoting, say if a man lust on a woman in his heart, he has already committed adultery. Huh? You mean to tell me I can't look at no booty? Woo, and lick my lips. And rub my hand. Want me some of that? Ooh. You mean to tell me I can't watch no nasty movies? You mean to tell me I can't have no subscription to the hub, to the fans.com? Hold on, Mr. Farrakhan. I need you to stop quoting that Bible now, because that Bible got some stuff in there that I ain't trying to hear. Hold on now. You see what I'm saying? Oh, no, you don't want to hear that. But see, that's what set my life free. That's what set my life free. That's what took me from earning $20,000 a year to earning 7 figures. Because of character, integrity, self-love, selfless love, submission to the will. Submit ye one to another. So it's areas I realize my wife's smarter than me in, stronger than me in. So instead of being ignorant and saying, no, I'm the man, I'm going to call all the shots. In the areas where she's stronger, I let her call the shots. I submit in those areas because I realize if I'm a head coach, I got to know that I don't know everything. That's why I got an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, because I'm the head coach. I oversee, but I got to put people where they strongest at. So if my wife's stronger in finances, if she's stronger in education, I got to make her the lead in that. And I say, okay, I'm going to follow your lead right here now because you got this. Then in my areas, business, entrepreneurship, earning a living, she say, hey, you got that. Disciplining my sons, raising my son, she don't get in the way. Whatever I deem is necessary, she say, you a man. You have become a man. If you gonna raise them to be a man like you, she don't even say this, but she just get out the way. She don't get in the way of me disciplining my sons. Where I'm strong at, she don't get in the way. Where she's strong at, I get back and I let her work. See, that's manhood. See, men think that the men of today, we thinking we got to run everything. We got to call every shot. We got to do everything. We got to be in charge of everything. I heard a guy I said, my wife highway is my highway. My wife way is my highway. He took that snippet and tried to post it on the video and try to basically kind of call me a simp. When what he make in a year, he didn't even realize who he was talking to. He didn't realize how me being this man done changed my life, done elevated me, done took me to a whole nother level. He didn't realize that the Lord put me in a position I could hire him. He didn't realize that. He thought I was a simp because I was smart enough to trust my woman to operate in her strengths. So now he thinking I'm weak. This guy did a whole YouTube video. Done pieced my video in there. And everything. I'm weak because I don't dominate my wife. And this is what the man said. And he let his wife tell him what to do. He taught his wife, and he let his wife call some shot. Every man know women don't know nothing about business. Women don't know nothing about business. And it's like, do you see all the women making 7 figures from Instagram by selling their makeup, selling their hair oil, selling their natural hair care, selling the weave, selling eyelashes, doing eyelashes? He talking about women don't know nothing about business. So I'm dumb for listening to my wife and letting her call shots too, and having her as a teammate. Then I'm supposed to be dominating. Right, God bless you. God bless you. I say, see, this the mindset that we got. So it's like, think about this. If you come into a situation and you got a brain and a woman got a brain, and you make her shut her brain down because you call the shots as a man, how dumb is that? When she got a whole life of experiences, she got a whole life of wisdom gained, but because you are a man, you gotta shut her up, suppress her, and you know it all about business, and you call all the shots. And so this is what I'm trying to wonder. I'm trying to wonder, like, I'm not understanding how this don't make sense. I'm not understanding how being selfless is weak. I'm not understanding how coming in as a man and picking up the slack and being a blessing to your wife and not trying to control and dominate your wife is weak. I'm not understanding. And so I'm like, man, what's going on? And see, this is what we living in right now. We living in a situation, and this is what people don't understand. Now, I thought it was conspiracy theory. I thought it was conspiracy. I thought that I was shadow banned. Come to find out, I'm not shadow banned. So what I was doing is I was posting videos as an IGTV video. And the video, I got over 900,000 people on Miss A, bless you. Over 900,000 people on Instagram. And I post a video and get 5,000 views. I'm like, this ain't right now. Because even 1% of 900,000 is 9,000. So if they just show it to 1%, I'm gonna have at least 9,000 views. I have 5,000 views. I thought I was shadow banned. But Instagram emailed me and said, hey, we want to work with some accounts to help y'all grow. We want to talk to you. When I talked to them, they told me what I was doing wrong. Told me what I need to do. That video will be for the Blessed Business Tribe. Told them what I need to do. I post a video, it get over 200,000 views in a day. I said, oh, okay. All right. So they called me and gave me the algorithm. I said, okay, appreciate you. So now this message finna get out. Now. Because what we living in a society where we now have men against women and women against men. And now it's some women who have them a message out there that is against black men. And to y'all women, what I'm going to tell y'all is, what I'm going to ask y'all is stop saying black men, and start saying that black man. Start saying that black man is pitiful. That black man is horrible. And stop saying black men, all black men horrible, black men horrible. So that's what I'm going to ask y'all ladies. Don't do that, because that is what an oppressor wants. The oppressor wants women to turn on their own. Because let me tell you something. I'm going to put you on something. What you have to realize about a black man is that our dignity was stripped in slavery. And they used to do things that were extremely ungodly to black men. And we still suffering from that today. And so the black man, the reason why, and my wife said this to me. She said with black men, Tasha, God bless her. She said with black men, the reason why black men are so controlling and so insecure or so demanding, like these men in the dark on these podcasts, she say it's because y'all had to work so hard to get there that when you get there, you are so afraid of losing it. You're so afraid of it being taken from you. Whereas the white man, his wife could do and spend whatever she want, and he don't look at the balance sheet. We know these couples that the woman get to do whatever she want to do, spend how she want to spend, and it's happy wife, happy life. But with black men, we are more controlling. We are more even with money. And when she said, I said, oh man, she ain't lying. She ain't lying. And so we had these conversations because I'm trying to see both sides of it. Because I know she could see me. I can't see me. And so that's what I'm trying to tell with these brothers is y'all can't see y'allself. That you opt, and because you don't got no wife, because see, my wife gonna tell me the truth. Because my win is her win. My loss is her loss. If I'm suffering from trauma, if I'm suffering from pain, if I'm suffering from everything I done went through, she losing too. So she want to see me win. So she want to speak life into me. She want to help me be set free so that we can win together. But see, it's single men who in fornication or married men who in adultery who now giving relationship advice, but they giving it from a jaded perspective. So when I hear a man say something ignorant, I'm able to say to myself, he doesn't have a woman who loves him and that he loves in his life. He don't got a woman, because see, a woman mind thinks differently. So she gonna see the other side of it. Cause we went to a birthday party last night for a 15-year-old white girl, and the daddy told me the birthday party cost $8,000. Now, me and him make like the same thing. 15? No, my daughter got to be turning 18. At least sweet 16. 15? 8,000. God bless you. And then my wife, she look over there and she see all this stuff that this woman get to do, that this woman get to spend, that this woman got. Oh, all right, okay, God bless them. I'm happy for her. And so listen, my wife helped me understand today. She say, the reason why black men are the way that we are is because of our pain, because of our trauma, because we do have a lot more hoops to jump through. It is way harder to make it. And that's what we not understanding. But see, what we have to go is from scarcity mindset, from victim mentality to victor mentality. We got to go to, listen, ain't nobody stopping me today. Ain't nobody holding me back today. I'm worthy. So I got a luxury suite at the NFL stadium. I'm the only black man with one. I'm breaking through the ceilings, through the glass ceiling. I'm getting through there. I'm pulling up on them. I'm pulling up on you. Put some respect on my name. And so now I'm out there like, hey, put some respect on my name. And as a black man, I'm like, hey, how you doing? How you doing, Bob? And I'm keeping my accent. I don't even talk. Hey, how you doing, man? What good? What's going on with you? Oh yeah, all right, yeah. Talking just like that. Yeah. Hey, you want? Hey, you want to? You could go half on this. Yep, sure can. Sure can. Right there with you. Let's go half on it. All right. Boom. That family, they want to go on a vacation to Utah. You know how much the hotel costs out there in Utah? $5,000 a night. You want to go? Hey, they pay for their family. I pay for my family. Okay, yeah. We'll meet y'all out there. We'll go on vacation with y'all. And so that's what I say. Is we have to switch our mindset. But see, what happened is, this is what you got to realize. This is what black women got to realize. For the black women that just, black men so sorry, black men so this, black men so that. You got to remember that black men, Google the creations of black men. It's a lot of creations that black men done created that still ain't got credit for today. And it's a whole lot that done got credit for. And it's almost every single thing you use in your house. From the time you wake up, I think Martin Luther King said that. From the time you wake up to the time you get out your house, you have depended upon the creation, the inventions of black people. So what black women got to understand is that black men have been, when they say break a buck, you know what break a buck mean? That the man took, split that man cheeks, and stuffed them full, gave them piece of them. Because the thing is, you're not gonna tell me that out of all of the slave masters, that none of them didn't like men, especially a man who tall, dark, and handsome with an 8-pack of abs because he out picking cotton all day. Can you imagine what them slave backs look like? So this here man over here, slave master who like men, what you think he doing to the men he own them? And he doing it with a gun to his head. So what does that man become in his household? He becomes a shell of himself. So what do his children become? Zombies. And so for us to achieve anything today, we have overcome so much because we being discriminated against without even knowing it. So I want you to understand, when you see these men with these podcasts, let them know how crazy they sound now, but also pray for them. And if you got the extra money, find a therapist in their city and have that therapist send them a gift, buy $100 gift certificate worth of sessions for them, and have that therapist reach out to them and say, hey, somebody paid for $100 session for you. They probably ain't gonna do it now, so don't waste your money, but still, they might do it now. And so that's what I want to say to the sisters out there that, you know, y'all fed up. Listen, seek to understand, then to be understood. And that's what I had to start doing. I had to start saying, okay, what this brother went through to have this kind of message. Oh, okay, he didn't have a dad. That hurt. Okay, he done been through multiple divorces. That hurt. Okay, I could tell looking at him as an adult man, he was overlooked. Like the man who's in my comments today. I could look at a man and I know from being a man, I know what type of men women desire. I know what type of men, because you hear women talk about, oh, this guy handsome, oh, I like this about men. If you've been around women, you know what women like. So you could look at a man and tell if he is a man that has been overlooked by women, that has been cheated on by women, that have been used for free meals by women. So that's essentially where the message is coming from. Like what the guy said. Oh, we don't want to be used for no free meal. But what I'm telling them is like, listen, although a woman that was out of your league went out to eat with you on a date and you paid for new chapter, God bless you now. Essential Herd, God bless you. Welcome to the Bless trial. Miss Awesome. Bless you now, Miss Awesome. I don't know if you're still on here. Raya Boo, bless you. I think I said it right. Miss Awesome, bless you now. The woman that was out of your league, that you took out to eat, and you paid for her food, and then she went back to her ex and did not stay with you. Okay, I get it. All right, I get it. I understand. I apologize. I get it. I understand. I apologize. Okay? And listen, but just because that happened, do not mean that y'all could tell women that they can't go out the house after 5 if they don't want to give their body up to a man. It's like, no, you got to heal from being used by that woman to go out to eat. You got to heal. You got to heal. Caramel, this ain't a Q&A tonight. This just a chat. This a fireside chat. This a State of the Union address. Town hall meeting. So listen to me. I'm trying to talk to my wife and them get home. Then I got to get off of here. But they ain't made it home from the NBA game yet. And so listen to me. You have to understand where these men operate from. And what I want y'all fellas to understand is you got to look into your past. And you got to get to the root of the pain. You got to get to the root of the pain. You got to look at the things that shaped you. You got to look back and you got to say, okay, if you were touched as a child, if you were abandoned by your father, if you were abandoned by your mother, if you were bullied in school, if you were overlooked by the women, if you were talked about, if you were overlooked as an adult, as a man, you got to look at that and you got to get to that pain and you got to say, this is what hurt me. But that what hurt me does not define me, and that what hurt me is no longer there and here to hurt me. It cannot still hurt me today. But if I'm operating from that place, then I am allowing that which hurt me to have power over me today. And if I go out and I look for women to belittle and to demean and to use and manipulate and control, that means that you are not becoming a man. That you're operating from a place of hurt and pain, and you are perpetuating the cycle. And the same way that you were hurt as a man, your children will be hurt because of your voice in the world, because of your message. Because think about this. Imagine being a man who tells women that if you do not want to sleep with a man, do not allow him to take you on a date at night. Imagine those men. Imagine, Andrea, God bless you. Imagine their daughter. Imagine their daughter. Their daughters are going to go into the world and see women analytical. So the daughter is going to go into the world and she's going to say, okay, well, I can't go out after dark. I can't go on a 7 o'clock date. That's the only time Black Panther 2 is showing. It's 7 o'clock. It's the first movie. But my daddy told me I can't go on a date after 5 o'clock if I don't want to sleep with the man. So now the daughter might as well be in prison. She might as well commit a crime and go to jail because she can't even live. Because her daddy done told her, use a piece of meat. And if you go on a date at 7 o'clock, you got to get slept with. So think about this. So this is what I'm telling men. If you don't address your pain, you pass the pain down to your children. So now your son takes a woman on a date at 7 o'clock. And this is just one of the examples. I'm just painting a picture of this mindset. Your son take the woman on a date at 7 o'clock, and then he goes to make a move. And the woman say, no, I ain't with that. So then he strong arm her. And now he going to prison. Guess what, fellas? Y'all created that by justifying the mindset that says that it is wrong of a woman to go on a date with a man after dark if she don't want to sleep with this man. And so we have to think about what we're doing to society. But the thing about it that men fail to do, I heard the Denzel Washington say, a son is a woman's first love. And it's also her last love. And that could be true. It's the same thing with men. A lot of men who have a daughter, that become their first love. I remember being with two comedians. Me and my partner had booked them for a comedy show. And one of the comedians, the younger one, he said to the older one, who the older one was an OG, been in a bunch of movies and everything. I won't say their name because their woman might be following this. And, oh, you said that? And they said, the younger one said to the older, he said, man, have you ever heard that as men, we love our daughters more than we love our wife? And then the other comedian said, yeah, I heard that. And that mess true. That bleepity bleep true. And he was like, yeah, man, I know. Like, it's true. Like, I love my daughter way more than I love my wife. And the reason why is because the daughter come from the man. And so he's not trying to deceive her. He's not trying to manipulate her. He's not trying to compete against her. He's not trying to break her heart. He's not trying to control her. He's not trying to cheat on her. So it's a pure love. It's a pure love. And so what I'm asking men to do is to love your wife the way you would want another man to love your daughter. Love your wife and treat your wife the way you would want a man to treat your daughter. Because the way you treat your wife is the way your daughter will let another man treat her. Because if the man she loves treats her mother horribly, then what does that say to her? If the woman who carried her for 10 months and gave birth to her, if the woman who carried her and gave birth to her 9 or 10 months, I know it's 9 months, 10 months, gave birth to her, cannot be treated with respect by her own father, then how is she going to go into the world and feel worthy of being treated right by a man? Come on, fellas. Come on, fellas. And the thing about it is, with each generation moves the needle forward. So if as a man, you are controlling a woman and dictating and dominating, what your son does to a woman is going to land him in prison. Because he's going to do more. 10 months equal 40 weeks. See what I'm talking about? Don't y'all have 40 weeks? Or y'all do 36 weeks? My son came at, 40 weeks. My son came at 32 weeks. So he was 2.5 months early. Yeah, he was 2.5 months early. Cause the first 4 weeks is you ain't showing. You don't even know till you miss that next period. So I think a lot of times we say 9 months, but ain't it 10 months? Just like people say I did a 360 in my life and really know you did a 180 because a 360, this what a 360 is. A 360 means you came back to the same point you started at. So a lot of little stuff like that we be getting mixed up. Especially us now with that struggle bus education we got. We be messing stuff up. So listen to me. You have to think about this as a man. the thing becomes, and this is what I'm asking men, is stop being selfish. Stop being selfish. And look and realize, hey, okay, when I have children, my example is no longer about me and my wants. Now my example has to be, Tanya, God bless you now. Debbie, God bless you. Now my example has to be about my children. What example am I setting for my son? I mean, one time I yelled at my wife, not like a yell, but got loud. And my son was in the back seat. And he probably was 12 or 11. And I feel bad about that. And what I was yelling at her, I said, listen, stop doing all that hollering at the soccer game. This boy need to learn how to make decisions on his own. He got to learn. When he go to college, you're not going to be in the stands. So if you telling him every single thing to do, he not going to know what to do. And listen, you hollering, you get loud. So now you yelling at this man. Now this man, he gets up. He yelling over at you. Now I got to check him. Now he telling me he'll knock me the F out. I say, now you know, if he gonna knock me the F out, I'm finna send him to meet the Lord. Now you know that. So now here I am at the game, just in case he got some hands on him. I got my 380 up under my Louis Vuitton belt. I had on basketball shorts and didn't have a holster. And so put a belt on up under my basketball shorts and had that tool in there just in case we got the fighting and he was carrying, that I'd be carrying too. And so I had to go off. And I regret that, because I should have been more cool, calm, collected. Because I say, you know what? My son gonna learn from this. So the stuff I did in my life was an extension. The bad stuff I did in my life went further than the bad stuff I saw my dad do up until the age of 6. At the age of 6, my daddy gave his life to Christ and changed his life. But what I seen up until 6, from the age of 4 to 6, I did worse. Because if we say, oh, if my daddy could do it, I could do it. So imagine these men who out here online, on YouTube, on Instagram, and they got their foot on women's neck, telling women, if you have kids, you got low market value. If you done slept with a man, you don't get the right to have standards. If you don't want to sleep with a man, don't go on a date after dark. If you go on 3 dates with a man, you in coochie debt. If you, and like telling women all of this nonsense, and it's all to set the world up, for destruction. And it's all in the black race. It's all in the black race. We do not see no Mexican man with no podcast doing what we seeing black men with podcasts doing. We seeing some white men out here, but for the white men, it don't really put a dent in their situation because they so wired and raised for marriage that it's like 90% of white men married. So the few knuckleheads that's on here as white men bashing women, they other brothers, they men call them trash and don't pay them no attention and don't give them no following. It be young teenagers that get them a following. But we got men who is doing the work and have the nerve to talk about the oppressor. There's no slave yard anymore. There's no slavery anymore. Now, the oppressor has now handed the whip to the broke back black man. Oh Lord, can you even be this real? Can you be this real online? The oppressor have handed the whip to the broke back black man. And he's saying, hey, we have broken him. Successfully broken him. Now he will go out and destroy his own. He's going to hate his own women. And he's going to mobilize millions of his own men to hate their own women. And guess what? This race, that is the leading race in every area, they making leaps and bounds. They leading in degrees. The black women are leading in degrees. More black women becoming business owners than ever before. But guess what? We can tolerate the women being successful. We can tolerate that because they're successful, but they're single. Because we got the men. And we got the men. And we finna open this algorithm. And we finna send these men viral. And they finna be viral. And they finna round up all the men. And they finna make the men feel sorry for themselves. They finna make the men just be woe is me. And they finna have the men woe is me. And these women ain't right. And these women is this. And these women is that. And these women is that. And so guess what? They're going to get a woman, but they're going to use a woman. They're going to use a woman. They're going to abuse a woman. They're going to dog her out. They're going to mistreat her. And they're going to break down the household. Their son going to be confused. Their daughter going to be confused. All the kids going to be lost. And then eventually they're going to get a divorce. They're going to get a divorce. And then they're just going to be struggling. They're going to be on the struggle bus. They're going to go into depression. And they're going to sabotage themselves. We don't have to do nothing because we done already done enough. So now we also, let's drop a little stimulus check on them. We'll drop a little stimulus check on them. We'll do this. And what you see today, when you come on here, you see black men arguing against black men about nonsense, about complete nonsense. Arguing against black men. So I say, you know what? I have to get on here and I have to argue about some sense. I got to argue about some sense. Because, brother, if you can't see yourself and that you're being used by the adversary, that you're being used by the devil himself to break the back of women and to mobilize insecure and immature men, if you cannot see that, I got to help you see that. I got to help you see that. And listen, when you come across these men with these toxic messages, get the link to this here video and send it to their DM on Instagram. Just send it to them all day long till they get this here message. Because guess what? When they hear the truth, see, it was Oliver Wendell Holmes who said, when the mind is stretched to a new dimension, it never returns to its original form. When they realize how they are being used by the adversary, they're going to retire. They're going to retire. They're going to transition. They're going to go. It's like, listen, okay, take the following y'all have built and start you an entertainment company. I'm not an entertainment. Yeah, you start an entertainment company. Do movies. But I meant start you an insurance company. Become an insurance agent. Sell life insurance. It's a man on YouTube. He got an insurance company. And he's something else. Colombian or Puerto Rico or something. He's from another country. And this man just bought a 24,000 square foot house. Got over 2 or 3 million subscribers on YouTube. I don't promote people's channel, but you'll bump into a channel now that I'm talking about it. Somehow the algorithm will get it to you. This man owns an insurance company with thousands of employees. And guess what, guys? Y'all done beat up on women enough. Y'all done put enough batteries in insecure men back. Take that following and go on back and do your style. Be a stylist. Go on back, do your image consulting. Just leave relationships alone. Leave relationships alone until you get in a relationship and you make a woman happy. And I don't mean being responsible for her happiness. But until you get in a relationship and you cross year 5 and you cross year 10, and this woman is going to sleep smiling, and she got a glow on her that we all can see, at that point, come on back and teach us what you have learned from building a happy and healthy relationship. We want to hear it then. Then help the women with some insight from a male perspective, like my brother R.C. Blake's is doing. Help the men from a healthy husband perspective. And okay, let's help. But come on back after you done cross, after you done been successful at something. It's like, listen, I want to learn how to play basketball from Michael Jordan. Okay? Not Michael B. Jordan. I don't want to learn how to play basketball from Michael B. Jordan. I want to learn how to play basketball from Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You see what I'm saying? So listen, fellas, stop talking about relationships until you have a prosperous, happy, and healthy relationship. Because if you have not, as a man, created a happy and healthy relationship, then you cannot prepare a woman for a happy marriage. You can only prepare a woman for a miserable marriage that ended the same way your marriage ended. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. You can only prepare a man for a toxic, unhealthy marriage that ended the same way your marriage ended. So this is what I want these guys who out here talking about love and relationships and what men need to do, what women need to do, but don't have a relationship. I want you to go out and get you some success. Go out and get you some success. Get you some success and then come tell us about it. But until then, that's broke advice. Until then, it's broke advice. It's broke advice. It's like a broke financial advisor trying to tell you how to manage your money. And I remember my business partner sent me to a financial advisor. He said, hey, yeah, I said, hey man, you know a financial advisor, somebody help me. He sent me to meet with a man. That man coming there, I can tell that man was broke. That's not good. Absolutely not. But he's not finna touch my money. And then he said a key word. He was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be too controlling. All you gotta tell me is, hey, such and such, I want to send this amount of money to this over here. As soon as he said that, I said, oh, so he think he finna be controlling my money. He thinking I'm gonna be calling him to tell him to send a transfer for me. Well, you're not gonna sniff my account. I'm gonna give you the numbers, and then you're gonna tell me. But you're not finna have access to my account. Cause I might want to buy me something nasty for my wife. And you end up looking at, oh, what was it? Okay. No. So listen, that was the first and last meeting. I called my partner. I say, listen, is he the financial advisor for your family? He was like, oh no, we use somebody else. I say, so what you sending me to him for? Just because you a billionaire? No, send me to who you go to. I'm finna be a billionaire. Send me to who you go to. So listen, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all guys. Lead a relationship to the happily married men and women. Lead a relationship to the happily married men and women. To tell from our perspective what it takes to get into a happy marriage, to build a happy marriage. If you're not married, leave it alone. Teach us stocks. Learn the stock market and teach us stocks. Hey, Cher telling y'all, stop putting names. Now, just because I say names, I'm saying a name, but y'all ain't got to be saying names and all of that. And the reason why is because, you know, I said somebody's name, but as you notice, I don't really do that because we you know, we never know until we know somebody. And that's why I tell y'all, you don't know me. You know me online. No matter how good we is. So that's why I don't speak names, because the brother who spit in his hand had a great name. You know, had a great name. Till that spit came out. And so it's like at any given day, somebody could take a stupid pill. So that's why I really don't lead people to people, because all I can control is me. I can't control nobody else. I hope the best for other people and that people do the right thing, but that's why we don't say name, because I don't like to send people, because I don't know how people live their life. I can hope that it's going right and that everything, and I pray that everything goes well. So that's why. So y'all understand that right there. Y'all understand that right there. So listen to me. Lead the relationship advice to the people who are happily married, who can say, okay, this is how I did it. This how this worked. And then you could pull them nuggets from it. But let me tell you what's happening. Everybody wants love. Even the men who are using and abusing and dogging women out, they want love. But what they think love is they think love is a man controlling a woman. That's what they think love is. They think love is, y'all hold on one second real quick. All right, y'all forgive me. I had to take my do not disturb off just in case my wife called me or something. So they think love is a man controlling a woman, is a man having his way with a woman. He took her on a date, so he get to sleep with her. He said, do this, she got to do, he said it. And then guess what? Women starting to believe in it. But it's a lot of women who not. I saw the young lady who made the post. Give me a call for some coaching. I saw the young lady who made the post. She said, if my man tell me at 3 o'clock in the morning, get up and go cook some food, I'm getting up and I'm going to cook. And she wrote, I take care of mine. That's another one of the craziest things I've never seen. It's like, if you got a real man, he not going to tell you to get up out your sleep and go cook at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, if y'all up just, you know, y'all living and all that, y'all having a great time and all that, then okay. But the post kind of read like she's saying she will wake up out her sleep to go cook. And see, that's the thing. It's posts like that that's also putting the battery in these men back. Because that's ownership. That's ownership. Last night, I tell my wife, hey, she said, listen, that take a lot of production and I am drained. I walked into the bathroom. I say, why I got to be a lot of production now? I walked into the bathroom, came back out the bathroom. I think I went in there and brushed my teeth, came back out the bathroom, and my wife was asleep. Had went to sleep just like that. Boop. So guess what? As a real man, I'm not gonna make my wife do something. I'm not gonna make my wife go cook no food if she drained, if she tired. Because as a man, you have respect for other people. You have respect for other people's mind and body. And you see them as a person. And so you understand, like, okay, this person, and so this is the thing. Now that the scenario probably has never happened. It probably has never been a man Well, of course it happened before now, but not mainstream. A man telling a woman to go cook at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so I love the fact that my wife, if she don't feel like doing something, she tell me. And I respect that. Because that let me know I could trust her. You know what I learned about women who do any and everything a man tell her to do? She can't be trusted. She will hop on the biggest thing that's available or the biggest bank account. She cannot be trusted. A woman who does not have a personal identity, who can say, I don't feel like doing that, then she does not love herself because she feel like she a do-girl. She feel like she a escort. And so what a man will do is he will use that. He will play on that until he's tired of her, and then he will drop her and he will go to the next woman. Because men cannot respect people who don't respect themselves. You got to be able to say no. You got to be able to know who you are. A man sits down to listen when a woman stands up to leave. Unfortunately, a man sits down to listen when a woman stands up to leave. So if a woman is not willing to leave a man, she will never be able to keep a man. Because in order to keep a man, he has to know that you will leave him. He has to know it. And that's one thing that my wife got right. And she showed me this meme one time about, like, the meme was showing like a woman having this strong face and acting like nothing bothering them, but behind closed doors, just boo-hoo crying. My wife sent me that to say, like, that's her. But she is very stoic. She do not show weakness. She will not let me see her cry, in the sense of if I hurt her feelings or when we would get into it and we having this deep, tough conversation, she would not let me break her. I couldn't, and she checked me. Hey, don't talk to me like that. Hey, don't say that to me. Hey. And I had to learn. Like, hey, and we was new. I was 21, 22. And I had to learn, okay, this how you treat a woman. This how you talk to a woman. This woman here ain't willing to accept no nonsense. And that right there, that changed my life. And that is what we have to realize as men, is that we got to get to a place to where we understand that a woman is a human being with her own mind, and that she is not to be controlled. She is not to be dominated. She is not to be ran around and treated like a piece of meat. That you want to treat this woman like your other half. You want to treat her like your teammate. You want your teammate to be at their best, because they're going to help you win. You don't want to break your teammate down. You don't want to control your teammate. You want your teammate to feel confident. You want to be able to kick it out to Steve Kerr because they done double team you, and Steve Kerr feel confident to knock down the shot. Steve Kerr knocked down the shot for Jordan. Jordan couldn't get his shot off. Here you go, Steve. Boom. As men, we taking and men breaking down the woman. So when you kick it to the woman, she can't even knock down the shot. She can't knock down the shot because she broke down. Because she being controlled. So listen to me. My wife still ain't made it home yet. So I'm going to get off the phone and give her a call. But I know it's a 2-hour drive and they had to drop my son's friend off. But I done said what I got to say. And so if you missed any of it, listen to this on a long drive or when you going to sleep. Let it get in your subconscious. You know, you going to work on your lunch break. Listen back to this. Get this in your spirit. You know, share this with a man that you know and love. And to the men who see this, listen, my brother, I ain't got nothing against you. And some people are crazy enough to say, it's been men that have said, Tony, no, it was a woman. Well, it could have been a man. That had to be a man. But the picture was a woman and the name was a woman. The woman said, Tony is on here just talking bad about the man in the dark because the man in the dark has popped up and got the numbers in a year that it has taken him more than a decade to get. And the man, and he is jealous. I say, listen. I ain't jealous of no man. Cause what you gotta understand is I know them numbers don't mean nothing. When I was reaching 20, I earned today. I may reach 1 million to 2 million people a week. And I earned today like 4 times what I earned when I was reaching 20 million people a week on Facebook alone. So numbers don't move me. I know numbers could lie. That don't mean that somebody got money, that somebody blessed, or none of that. So the lady, she talking about I'm jealous. And it's men that think that I'm jealous because they think everybody the same. They think we competing for numbers. They think I'm about numbers. I'm about purpose. I don't care about numbers. That's why I don't play the game. That's why I don't do all the tricks of the trade. That's why I don't do custom thumbnails. That's why I don't say hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That's why I don't do none of that. Because I don't care about the numbers. I care about that God could look at me and say, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's what I care about. So I'm never going to be jealous of a man's following because, too, it could be bought. Anything that could be counted today can be bought. You can buy comments. You could buy likes. You could buy followers. You could buy subscribers. You could buy everything. So I don't pay numbers no attention. And this one thing that I'm going to do a reel on. But I'm going to say it here first. The circus has a larger following than the classroom. Because clowns are more entertaining than teachers. So as a teacher that's teaching the roadmap for the narrow road, I don't expect to have a big following because I already know that the narrow road will be few and the broad road will be many. I also know that when you are called by a higher power, you do not grow fast because you got to get the lessons in the climb. But when you come into a space and you go from 0 to 100 in a blink of an eye, guess what happened? You crash out. I got a car with 807 horsepower. I let a man drive it. He did the launch control. He smashed the gas. All that horsepower hit. The car went from 0 to 120 miles an hour in like 5 seconds. The car spent out of control. And we ran off the road and up a railroad track. I could have lost my life. That was a lesson. God don't move you fast. God don't take you 0 to 100 like this because you're going to crash out. You're going to crash out. When you call for the greater good by a higher power, you're going to be moved slowly. So today, I have 1.8 million people on Facebook, 330,000 on Twitter, 930,000 on Instagram, 360,000 or 70,000 on YouTube. You put it all together, it's like 3.5 million. But I've been doing this online since 2007 in this same lane. So if I got 3.5 million people across all my social media and never bought, never begged, never tried to go viral, never tried to say crazy stuff to be sensational, never spit in my hand and rubbed it on somebody's face to go viral, if it took me 15 years to get 3.5 million people online. You know what that allowed me to do? I made mistakes in 2007 when I started. I made mistakes in 2008, in 2009, in 2010, in 2011, in 2012. The mistakes I made will cancel me today. The mistakes I made, some of the stuff I said will cancel me today. But see, because I'm called by a higher power for a greater good, who sees all, who knows all, God knew he couldn't take a 23-year-old man and take me from 0 to 100 overnight. It had to take time. And I'm still growing. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'll forever be growing. That's why I don't try to game the system. That's why I don't try to go viral. That's why I don't try to do that, because I know I still need time to grow. I still need time to learn. With all that God has given me, I know it's so much more to be gained in the area of wisdom, not material things. And so that's what you got to understand. That's why me operating under the wisdom that God has given me, I will never be jealous of another voice, another content creator. I'm not in a race with nobody. I'm not in competition with nobody but the man I was yesterday. That's it. That's it. And do you know what? My biggest mistakes, bad choices, ignorant choices. God let me get more than a decade away from those bad choices before he really started to elevate me. Before my message really started to spread, he had to let me get more than a decade away from not being smart in business, in life, in dealings. And so I had to understand that. So guess what? When I see people that they go from 0 to 100, I just pray for them, because there's so many lessons that come with that. Just like the celebrity couple, the filmmaker who was a pastor, and his wife, soon to be ex-wife, who was an actress. When they came out and they wrote a book on what they did, and they was only like a few years into their marriage, I say, Lord, I say that's a mistake. I say that's a mistake. I say they fixing to be ushered into so much spiritual warfare that it's gonna be hard to survive that. And me and my wife, we seen it. And I told her, I said, baby, I'm not the least bit jealous. I'm not in competition. I say, the brother might think I'm in competition, but I'm not in competition, because I don't want that spiritual warfare. And unfortunately, in less than 10 years, they're going through a divorce. Because when you shot out of a cannon, when you step out and you go from 0 to 100, and you go to monetizing love, I'm sending a message right now to every couple that's doing ministry work publicly together. You better make sure you prayed up. You better make sure you prayed up and you stayed up and not just laid up. You better make sure you prayed up, because the attack gonna come. The attack gonna come, and it's gonna be mighty. It's gonna be mighty. You hear me? So that's why me and my wife, we could create a image. We could do a photo shoot every week. We could go to the beach. I could pick her up. I could I could hold her and I could walk down the steps and I could put her in a white dress and put a tuxedo on and pick her up and hold her. And we could take that photo shoot and I could let her jump on my bike on the beach. And we could create this narrative of relationship goals, couples goals. But we don't force pictures. We don't produce photo shoots. Because we understand spiritual attack. We understand spiritual warfare. What you show, the devil want to expose. So we'll be under attack and don't even show nothing. We'll be going through and don't even show nothing. So I know the couples that's out here trying to hashtag couples goals and got everybody celebrating them and my favorite couple, my favorite couple, my favorite couple. I know they going through. I know they going through. And see my number? Anytime I see one of these couples, I give them 8 years. I give them 8 years. Some of them I give them 3 years. Some of them I give them 5 years. But when I see it, because of what I do, because of what I know, I tell my wife, I say they'll be divorced in 5 years. Because I could see when you monetizing love and when you painting this picture of love to make money, what you doing is you living in a glass house. You living in a glass house when your relationship should be treated like a house. Your door should be locked. Your blinds should be closed. Should nobody be able to visit you unannounced. But when you take your relationship and you have not secured the fortress, you ain't got people on the roof with cannons that's looking out for you. You ain't secured it, but then you promote it and you monetize it. You set yourself up for failure. You set yourself up for attack. So a lot of people say, Tony, why you don't have your wife come on? Because my wife's not ready to come on. Because me and my wife can have a disagreement. And if we had that disagreement, and to us, the disagreement is nothing. Because we know each other. We know each other. We just talking. It ain't nothing. But if we on live, being two different humans, if we have a disagreement, it's gonna be women who have a Jezebel spirit who read into that. Oh, she looked uncomfortable. I made the mistake and did a virtual seminar with a comedian and his wife, and they did a love thing, and we thought we was doing an interview. They didn't tell us we was just talking. My wife is behind the scenes, but I think the comedian wife wanted my wife to come from behind the scenes, maybe because she's not behind the scenes. But my wife is behind the scenes, and that's where she want to stay. But I like them and what they doing, so I wanted to support them. So I said, baby, will you do it? Because I'm guessing they don't want me to come on there as just a man, you know, giving advice as just a man, because they wanted to be balanced. And so they inviting couples. She was like, no, I do not want to do that. And I was like, come on, baby. I like what they're trying to do. I want to support them. So, you know, will you do it? And she said, okay, if you want to do it. Man, we got on there, and then we sitting there looking at the Zoom host, and she tell us it's just a session, like us talking. We hadn't prepared. No, we thought we were finna answer questions. Man, that thing was so awkward. Because my wife real. She can't fake. So she was upset. She was uncomfortable. And it showed. And I know it was people watching that said, oh, it looked like trouble in paradise. Oh, they ain't happy. And see, that's what we know. Is the devil will read into stuff that ain't even nothing. And so me and my wife could be on live and we can have a disagreement. I could say something that make her uncomfortable, it make her feel embarrassed. She could say something that make me feel embarrassed, and then we show a little discomfort, and then next thing you know, it's Jezebel spirits, men and women, sliding into our DM because it looked like trouble in paradise. And then now here this is unnecessary temptation. Now it's somebody who playing on your ego. Oh, you so amazing, and I don't understand why your wife is so sensitive and why she won't support you and go on tour with you. If I was your wife, I would be on tour with you. I would be cooking all day. I would just be, oh my God, I would just be sitting and just soaking up everything you have to say. And the devil will start to play like that. He'll send a man over to my wife. Hey, I want to talk to you because he knows she classy. So he's not going to come like, hey, what's up, baby? He ain't going to come at her like that because I done praised her too much. He knows she too classy. He going to come and say, hey, I would love to know if you would do a coaching session. I'm going through an issue with a girlfriend, to try to get on the phone with her, to try to get her to drop her guard and then try to make a move. So see, I understand that. That's why I don't rush my wife. By the time she ready, our kids they'll be grown. By the time my wife ready to go on tour or to do a YouTube with me or do a podcast with me. And I told my wife, I said, you know what we probably ought to do, baby? Hey, that's how I talk. So my son, my 7-year-old, they said, what's your dad's name? He said, Babe. Because me and my wife, we call each other Babe and Baby. He thought my name was Babe Gaskins. And so I said, baby, you know what we ought to do? We ought to do a sports podcast. Because you like sports. I like sports. Instead of doing a relationship podcast, we ought to do a sports podcast. That'll throw everybody for a loop. And we could have our good bonding time, but what we arguing over, it's not about a relationship. Because the devil can't try to seep in and play no game. Hey, my family just came home. I see my 14-year-old in here. So, hey, it's time for me to start working. Hey, God bless y'all. Thank y'all so much. To the moderator, thank y'all for keeping stuff together. Looking out. I really appreciate you. Caramel Kiss will post my cash out. I don't know how she got that, but she got that eventually, and she gave it out. And so somebody sent me a blessing on the cash out. And I thank you so much for that. I don't ask you for it, but you do it, and I appreciate you. And to the people who sent in, the super chat, God bless you. But thank y'all so much. And hopefully YouTube put this up. But we'll talk soon.